Let's see. We're happy to be back again under the shelter of Sisirada Golokananda. We're here. Let me see. We were here last year. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, can you pass my cartons, please? Here you go. So it's a new chapter today. From the Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 52 of the 10th canto. 10.52. Rukmini's message to Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Valachari. Yamuna Tira Valachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shirate Jai Radha Gopinata Radha Gopinata Shri Radhe Jai Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Shama Sundara Radha Shama Sundar Shri Radhe Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Namaong Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna Bhutale Shrimati Gopal Krishna Goswami Tamane Prabhupada Namaong Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Sarasvati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shiguro Shijuta Padakamalang Shigurung Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupang Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanvitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vindavaneswari Visabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaisnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we are in a new chapter from the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Saman Banam, chapter 52, Rukmini's message to Lord Krishna. The summary, translation, and purport by the followers, disciples of our founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Chapter summary. This chapter describes how Lord Balaram and Lord Krishna, running as if in fear, went to Dwarka. Then Lord Krishna heard the message of Rukmini from the mouth of a Brahmana and chose her as his wife. King Muchukunda, shown mercy by Lord Sri Krishna, offered obeisances and circumambulated him. The king then left the cave and saw that humans, animals, trees, and plants were all smaller than when he had fallen asleep. From this he could understand that the age of Kali was at hand. Thus, in the mood of detachment from all material association, the king began worshipping the Supreme Lord, Sri Hari. Sri Krishna returned to Mathura, which was still under siege by the barbarian army. He destroyed this army, collected all the valuables the soldiers had been carrying, and set off for Dwarka. Just then, Jarasandha arrived on the scene with a force of 23 Akshohinis. Lord Balaram and Lord Krishna, acting as if fearful, left their riches aside and ran far away. Because Jarasandha could not appreciate their true power, he ran after them. After running a long way, Rama and Krishna came to a mountain named Pravarshana and proceeded to climb it. Jarasandha thought that they had hidden inside a cave and looked all over for them. Unable to find them, he built fires on all sides of the mountain. As the vegetation on the mountain slopes burst into flame, Krishna and Balaram jumped off the peak. After reaching the ground unseen by Jarasandha and his followers, they returned to the Dwarka fort, which floated within the sea. Jarasandha decided that Rama and Krishna had burned to death in the fire, and he took his army back to his kingdom. At this point, Maharaj Parikshit asked a question, and Sri Sukadev Goswami responded to it by beginning to narrate the history of the marriage of Lord Sri Krishna and Rukmini. Rukmini, the young daughter of Bhishmaka, king of Vidarbha, had heard of Sri Krishna's beauty, strength, and other fine qualities, and she therefore made up her mind that he would be the perfect husband for her. Lord Krishna also wanted to marry her, but although Rukmini's other relatives approved of her marriage to Krishna, her brother Rukmi was envious of the Lord and thus forbade her to marry him. Rukmi wanted her to marry Shishupal instead. Rukmini unhappily took up her duties in preparation for the marriage, but she also sent a trustworthy Brahmana to Krishna with a letter. When the Brahmana arrived in Dwarka, Shri Krishna properly honored him with ritual worship and other tokens of reverence. The Lord then asked the Brahmana why he had come. The Brahmana opened Rukmini's letter and showed it to Lord Krishna, who had the messenger read it to him. Rukmini Devi wrote, quote, "Ever since I have heard about you, my Lord, I have become completely attracted to you. Without fail, please come before my marriage to Shishupal and take me away. In accordance with family custom, on the day before my marriage, I will visit the temple of goddess Ambika. That would be the best opportunity for you to appear and easily kidnap me. If you do not show me this favor, I will give up my life by fasting and observing severe vows. Then perhaps in my next life, I will be able to obtain you." Unquote. After reading Rukmini's letter to Lord Krishna, the Brahmana took his leave so he might carry out his daily religious duties. Hare Krishna. Very touchy. The attraction of Rukmini towards Lord Krishna is so severe, so intense, that she's ready to give up her life. I wish we all have that kind of intense desire towards Lord Krishna. That we're ready. Yes, Prabhupada says, the reason why we're still alive is that because we don't have that intense love towards Lord Krishna. Otherwise, we'll be dead by now. So, text 1. Many of them, they have no purports. So I'll just continue reading until we see there's a purport and try to explain as far as we can. Shishuka uvacha itang sona grahitunga Krishne nikshbakunandana tang parikramya sanamya niskrama guhamukat. Sukadev Goswami said, "My dear king, thus graced by Lord Krishna, Muchukunda circumambulated him and bowed down to him. Then Muchukunda, the beloved descent of Ikshvaku, exited through the mouth of the cave." So here, 52nd chapter. Some of the acharyas, they commented. Okay, we'll continue reading. Sambiksha shulakang martyang Pashun birud banaspatin Matba kali yughang praptang Jagama dishang utarang. Translation. Seeing that the size of all the human beings, animals, trees, and plants was severely reduced, and thus realizing that the age of Kali was at hand, Muchukunda left for the north. Purport. There are several significant words in this verse. A standard Sanskrit dictionary gives the following English meaning for the word shulaka: little, small, low, vile, poor, indigent, wicked, malicious, abandoned, hard, pained, distress. These are the symptoms of the age of Kali. And all these qualities are said here to apply to men, animals, plants, and trees in this age. We who are enamored of ourselves and our environment can perhaps imagine the superior beauty and living conditions available to people in former ages. The last line of this text, Jagama, Dishang Utarang, he went toward the north, can be understood as follows. By traveling north of India, one comes to the world's highest mountains, the Himalayan range. There, one can still find many beautiful peaks and valleys, where there are quiet hermitages suitable for austerity and meditation. Thus, in Vedic culture, going to the north indicates renouncing the comforts of ordinary society and going to the Himalayan mountains to practice serious austerities for spiritual advancement. So King Muchukunda, when he came out of the cave, he saw the symptoms of Kali Yuga. Also it mentions in the Srimad Bhagavatam the symptoms of Kali Yuga, that people are easily disturbed, life is short, this is the age of quarrel, and yes, everyone, including human beings, plants, and other living entities, the trees, they will be reduced in their size. According to the Srimad Bhagavatam, the height of human beings will be reduced. And if one reaches about 3 feet tall, that is the tallest. Like dwarf, like Vamana, or 5-year-old boys. Very, very short. Life is short. Everything is reduced. So we are in Kali Yuga right now, and this was like 5,000 years ago. And we can see, it's like in the Philippines, I noticed that the students there, is like in high school, they look like kids. Very short. Everything is the opposite from the previous age. Like Lord Krishna is around 14 feet tall. That's the height in Dwapar Yuga. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is around 7-footer. But we become smaller and smaller. Everything. And the word here that was specially mentioned, Shulaka, little, small, low, vile, poor, indigent. Because in Sanskrit, there are many meanings, even in just one word. It's not like in English language. So the symptoms of Kali Yuga is now being described. And Muchukunda, he went towards the north. Prabhupada's disciples mentions here that if one wants to renounce the material attachments, the propensity to enjoy the sense objects with the senses, then one will proceed towards north, where one can meditate and become fully absorbed unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. We heard that story also. Huh? Vidura told Dhritarashtra to go north, along with Gandhari, who is one of the most chaste women in the history. Kunti, Draupadi, Gandhari, they're all on the same level of chastity. So, yes, Do we have to go to the Himalayan mountains now to renounce? No. We have to be where we are by engaging ourselves in the practice of Krishna consciousness and serving the Supreme Lord in His Archa Vigraha form. It's like here, you have very, very amazing, exquisite beauty of the Lordships. So, this is better than the Himalayas. It depends on our consciousness, isn't it? One can be anywhere and practice Krishna consciousness and can go back home, back to Godhead. Even in the Grihastha ashram, as we were talking the last few days, Srila Prabhupada also mentions that Grihasthas should have worship, deity worship, to keep themselves regulated, to keep themselves in cleanliness. By doing so, of course, if one lives near a temple, like here, then your main deity is Shishirada Golokananda. And don't spend too much time in deity worship and then everything else becomes secondary, that you don't have time to preach. Himalayan mountains is still there. I always wanted to go to the Himalayan mountains. The most I can get to is Rishikesh and Haridwar. Haridwar means the gate to Lord Hari. That means as farther you go, then the serenity, the peacefulness, the calmness of the mind can be attained in such a way. So many goes for pilgrims. They go to Chardham. They go to Badrinath, Kedarnath, way, way up in the mountain. And sometimes it is closed also during the winter season because it is dangerous. And I cannot imagine also how they go by bus and the road is so narrow. If you just move a little bit on this side, oh, Krishna. You go back home, back to Godhead immediately. But this is the austerity that they have to perform to go there. So, yes, they can still be found over there, the caves and nice. You can, if you're lucky, you can find also a blue lotus as fair. Blue lotus compared to Lord Krishna's complexion. And many sages are there. Says that even during the Satya Yuga, they will be there and just waiting after the Kali Yuga is over, then they come out again. Prabhupada says many sadhus are hundreds of years old. Like during Kumbh Mela. I'm sure some of you have been to Kumbh Mela. You know what's Kumbh Mela? Anyone here been to Kumbh Mela? Yes? We've been a few times. This is the largest gathering of people, uninvited. Because it says that at the time of the constellation aligned, very auspicious, that the Amrita will fall into Sangam, Tribeni, 3 rivers, Ganga, Yamuna, and Sarasvati. Sarasvati, she is underwater, not unmanifest. So Prabhupada says that some sadhus, some yogis will come from the Himalayas to go there. And what they will do, they don't go by any transportation. One can go there by train, by bus, by car, or even by walking. But the sadhus, they will go there and they will dip into Ganga, from Gangotri, the origin of Ganga. and they will dip themselves, and then when they get up, hundreds of miles away, they will be there. And I noticed some of them, how do you recognize a person who is very old? By the face, a lot of wrinkles. So I saw many of them, their wrinkles so much, but they're so effulgent, so bright. These are sadhus, these are yogis who resides in the Himalayas. It's hard to imagine one who is so attached materially to go to the Himalayas and live there for the rest of his life. Real renunciation means using everything for Krishna's service. So for many of us, we can be here in North Carolina or any parts of the world and also be renounced using everything for the service of the Supreme Lord. And rest assured that when we become mature in our devotional service, we also go back home, back to Godhead. One need to be also artificially renounced and go there, because the mind will follow us wherever we go, or the mind is always with us, with the soul. One may say, oh, okay, let me go to a very, very high altitude, the Himalayas, and I can be peaceful. No. We can be anywhere. We can be in the south, or the west, or the east, or in the north. And if the mind is disturbed, uncontrolled, then we cannot really become fully renounced or giving up this material world. As we mentioned also earlier in one of the meetings here in North Carolina, Srila Prabhupada says, as long as one is not disgusted with this material world, then he cannot go back home, back to Godhead. He will not become a devotee. There'll be a time that our level of being disgusted will up to the peak. It's like I have a nephew in Dubai, and he's having problem. No job. He got a job, but then he just quit because there is some problems. And he says, "Uncle, I think I just want to join you." I said, "Are you sure?" "Yeah, I give up. I don't want this anymore. I don't want to stay here anymore." I told him, just stay for some time. Stay for some time. We'll try to find a solution. So, yes, says here, in the Vedic culture, going to the north indicates renouncing the comforts of ordinary society and going to the Himalayan mountains to practice serious austerities for spiritual advancement. Now, in the 5th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam teachings, in the 7th canto, one should go to the forest, Van. That means Vrindavan. Yes? Prahlad Maharaj was telling to his father, Hiranyakashipu, that, you should give up. No, now is the time to go to the forest. And yes, you have forest here also. Yes, so there's no difference. Vrindavan actually is a state of consciousness. So wherever we are, if we're always thinking of Krishna, that is Vrindavan. And the temple is Vaikuntha. So we're very fortunate to come here and practice Krishna consciousness. I will stop here now. If you wish, I can keep going. But there's so many things here. Yes. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it says that Kali Yuga is the worst of Kali Yuga, of the ages. So it's like the opposite. Satya means gold. So everything that time, everything is auspicious. They have long lives. People live for 100,000 years. Then it became 10,000 years. Then it became 1,000 years. In Kali Yuga, 100 years. In Kali Yuga, it says that if one reaches 20 or 35, between 20 and 35 years old, you're considered to be old. It's a lifestyle. Mm. And again, this is, it's like, you may say it's cursed. People who live in Kali Yuga, they suffer more. But there is one good thing in Kali Yuga, the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So for the next 10,000 years, it is a golden age. After 10,000 years, no more Haribol, Haribol. It's finished. It's so degraded. Oh boy. The picture of Kali Yuga has been described in Srimad Bhagavatam. No more water. Water will be like more expensive than petrol. No more sugar, no more grains, no more this. People live underground in the caves. And sometimes they will eat each other. There's no food. It's like we've heard in some survival, adventure, plane crash. The way to survive is they have to eat their fellow passengers. We're so fortunate right now. So anyone who will take part into this process of Krishna consciousness, their life is auspicious. They'll not be as much as affected as the materialist. We have to struggle. Devotees struggle also. Materialists, they also struggle. But our struggle will have an eternal reward. But the struggle of the materialist, srama eva hi kevalam, only a useless labor. So everything is like this. Everything is like negative. But there is positive. If we chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we go beyond that miserable condition of life. We have to also, in order to alleviate others' sufferings, we have to give Krishna to others. The more we give Krishna to others, the more we'll get the attention of Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna is all attractive, but he is attracted to his devotee who is taking all the risk in spreading Krishna consciousness. We should not be just satisfied of, hey, I'm a devotee, so that's it. No, a devotee, when he sees others' sufferings, he feels the pain. Para dukkha, dukhi. Right? The materialists, they when they see others happy, they become miserable. No, it's the opposite. Devotees, when they see others miserable. So like, I was in Dubai, UAE, and it's very hot there. And people, they work under the sun, laborers, and they only get like $300, $400 a month. What is that? That will not even buy your own food. How can you survive? But that's life. We're so fortunate. But that fortune we should distribute to others as well. Yeah, that's why we have to distribute books. do Harinam. It's like what you're doing here, Fruitful Life, Prasadam distribution. Then we'll get the attraction of Lord Krishna. We'll attract Lord Krishna. You say, what? Act in such a way that Krishna will want to see you. Don't act in such a way that you want to see Krishna. Of course, we want to see Krishna. But act in such a way that Krishna would like to see you. Like Rukmini. She's getting the attention of Lord Krishna now because of her intense love. Of course, Rukmini is an expansion of Srimati Radharani. All the queens in Dwarka, they're all expansions of Srimati Radharani. All the goddesses of fortune, they're all expansion of Srimati Radharani. Shakti Tattva. So, yes, everything will be upside down, topsy-turvy in Kali Yuga. That's the sign of Kali Yuga. Okay? Any other points before we'll have darshan? Any comments, Maharaj? Yes? Give a little.
So you have to forgive me for this.
According to science?
According to science, there's more and more mutations, and the genome gets degraded. This is called de-evolution, which actually runs contrary to what Darwin taught.
De-evolution.
De-evolution. So people have more and more birth defects, more and more, defective genome, and therefore they get shorter and more diseases and everything like that. And then there's other reasons too. We could the food supply is more contaminated. It's not as nutritious as it used to be. I mean, I can go through a whole bunch of things like that.
Jai.
Okay.
Thank you, Maharaj. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Itai Gaur Sitanath Premanandi Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna.
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Enam Kanvandam Aravindanalaya Taksham Bharavatam Samasitam Buddhasundaranam Kandar Agom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Andani Yasa Sakalem Priya Priti Manti Vasyan Vipan Vikayanti Jiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Namahom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Pujale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Samaniti Namane
No cartels.
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacha Nagini Visesha Shunyavani Paschachade Satarane Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Advaita Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Chaitanya Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Radha Ramana, Hare Govinda Jaya Jaya. Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe. Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Radhe, Jaya Radhe. Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe. Radhe, Sri Radhe, Jai Om. Srila Prabhupada. Namacharya Shtabridas Thakur. Friends, say Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda. Anandam Buddhivardhanam Sarvatmasnapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Nam Akari Bahoda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrapita Nimata Smarane Nakala Etadrishita Vakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaivarmi Drishanihan Nanina Nuraga Trinada Pisanichena Durara Pisishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtanira Sarahari Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kapitamba Jagadish Kamaye Dumajanmani Janmanishvare Bhavatak Bhakti Irhai Chakitwaye Ainanda Tanuja King Karam Patitamam Vishame Bhavam Buddho Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Stita Duli Sadrusam Vachintaya Nayanam Galu Dashru Daraya Vadanam Gadgara Rudiya Gira Pulaka Nichitam Bapukada Tava Namagrahane Bhavishyati Yugaitam Nimishena Chakshusha Pravishaitam Shunyaitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virahena Me Asli Shiva Pada Pada Nashdumam Adarshanam Marmatam Karotuva Yatadata Vavadadatu Lampato Mat Prananata Susevana Parha. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benedictions to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street, and should be ready, tolerant in a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen to the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up? And when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord, unconditionally. Shikshashtaka ki jai. It's a very special day with all the flowers on the altar. Again, we'd like to welcome Janardana Maharaj to Goloka. Sundari dressed the deities amazingly. She did it all by herself? Oh, you helped her. Okay, you get partial credit.